Hey everybody, CFL Jim here to recap the Divisional Semifinal rounds of the CFL. Let's jump right into it, shall we? Game number one, we had the Hamilton Tiger Cats taking on the Montreal Alouettes, with the Alouettes winning this one 28-17. And it's hard to take away from this game anything less than an utter disappointment for the Hamilton season. Just they could never get it going. Dane Evans looked good, then he didn't. Then they had Schultz come in, and he was looking like he was pounding a six-pack of Schlitz every single week, and he was looking pretty good. And then Dane Evans comes back, and he looks he's on fire. And this Hamilton team was red hot going into the end of the season and going into the postseason, and they just couldn't get it together. Dane Evans just looked a mess in this game. He just couldn't really get anything going. And that's not to take anything away from Montreal, because that defense was fantastic. That was the big surprise for me, was this defense looked really fucking good. And boy, howdy, they just let Hamilton have it. Tim White is still that guy, and I think Hamilton will be in an interesting, if not weird, spot next season, because I don't know what they do with Dane Evans versus Matthew Schultz, because Dane Evans has looked good, Schultz has looked good, but you're probably getting Schultz for cheaper. So I don't know what they're going to do, but that's for future talk. That's for off-season talk. For now, I want to talk about how goddamn good Montreal was. That defense was good. The offense looked fantastic. This is the team of chaos, and this is something we want to see in every league. The NFL, we want to see a team of chaos make it in. College football, down in the States, we want to see a team of chaos make it into the playoffs. We see it in the CFL. Montreal can wreck this whole shebang, and I've been saying this for weeks. Let the Alouettes sneak into the playoffs, and they'll wreck the whole goddamn thing. Eugene Lewis is so fucking fun to watch. I just need to mention that. Like, I talked about Tim White, but Eugene Lewis is just so goddamn cool. Montreal just did whatever they fucking wanted. And the big story of the game were turnovers. Both Dane Evans and Matthew Schultz had their share of turnovers. Dane Evans with the fumbles, Schultz with the interceptions, and they just killed any momentum that Hamilton potentially had, because they were, if you remember, they were coming back. They were marching a comeback, and then Schultz just laid one of the worst bombs I've ever seen. It looked awful, and Montreal was all over that shit. Man, good for the Alouettes. Disappointing end of the season for the Ticats. It's tough to take away anything other than disappointment, just because you were in the Grey Cup last year, you keep a lot, and you didn't have it when you needed it. Ugh. Game number 2, we had the Calgary Stampeders taking on the BC Lions, with the Lions winning this one 30-16. And the big thing for me is it came down to Calgary's defense just letting them down. I've been hyping up this defense all year. They've been pretty good all year. And man, they just couldn't. The DBs for Calgary were just getting torched left and right. We've seen it throughout the year, especially now that Nathan Rourke's back. This BC receiving corps is just so dynamic and so good. They just let Calgary have it. And Nathan Rourke, even at like 70%, 75%, he is one of the best quarterbacks in any of these leagues. He is so fun to watch. Nathan Rourke is my Canadian of the year. I love this kid so much. Oh boy, I'm so excited to see him next week versus the Bombers. And also, let's not forget about fucking James Butler. This guy is a running machine. He just let BC do whatever they want. And when he's running like that, you can't. When James Butler is running like that, Nathan Rourke is free to do whatever he wants. This BC team is firing on all cylinders. They're tough to stop. I don't see very many teams, maybe only one team in the league, can really stop them on a good day. The main takeaway for me, for Calgary, was you can't beat BC when you're just scoring field goals. And I know they got a touchdown later on, but they were trading field goals back and forth in the first half, and then BC just let loose. They got that touchdown at the end of the first half and then just ran away with it. You can't be trading away field goals for touchdowns. It's not a recipe for success, especially when you're playing a team as explosive as the BC Lions. It's just not going to work. The main thing for Calgary now is you got Bo Levi Mitchell leaving. He's one of the best quarterbacks in CFL history. I wonder if you're rolling with Jake Maier. The moment in this spot was probably too big for him, but I think he's going to be a decent player going into the future. Just because you saw him throughout the season, he looked pretty good. Bo Levi Mitchell had his moments, but he was looking kind of, I called him Bo Levi mid-chill in the parts of the season just because he wasn't looking that great. And I think you're okay letting him go. Just maybe get a couple more weapons. The real thing was, you can't blame Jake Maier too much because your defense was just getting torched. And yeah, you had some sacks. Your defense in front is still awesome. But you need to do something with the DBs, man. They were not getting it done. Boy, howdy. BC. Defense stepped up. You guys look great. You ruffled a quarterback who the moment was probably too big for him, and that's what you got to do in this spot. And you did your job, and you are hot. If Nathan Rourke is okay, if James Butler is okay, if Reggie's okay, if your team is healthy, it's going to be a hell of a game next week versus the Bombers. I am excited for that. And speaking of which, let's go to Wizard Jim to predict the divisional final round of the CFL. Wizard Jim. Thank you, CFL Jim. Well, it's time I do my magic and peer into the future and give you the scores, the outcomes of the divisional finals of the CFL. So, spoiler alert, folks, for those of you wondering out there. These are going to be the scores of the upcoming game. So, let me cast the spell. CFL Divisional. Okay. So for Montreal versus Toronto, we have the Alouettes falling to the Argonauts 23-21. As for the Lions taking on the Bombers, it's going to be a shootout, folks. There's no way around it. Of course, I'm assuming you already knew that because, of course, the Lions are playing in this game. The Bombers, however, will come out victorious, winning this one 35-31. And those are your future CFL divisional final scores. I'm Wizard Jim. I can't wait till the next time I get to see you lovely folks. Until next time. Stay magical. You heard it from Wizard Jim, folks. It's going to be Toronto over Montreal 23-21 and the Bombers over the Lions 35-31. That's the score. That's the prediction. That's not the prediction. That's the future. He saw into the future. Anyway, it's going to be in a crazy offseason once this is fully done. I can't wait to dive into all that. Next spring, I'm going to be bringing you all the drama, all the offseason bugaboos, and I can't wait to break down these divisional finals. Oh boy, I am excited. What a time to be alive. What a time to be a CFL fan. Let's fucking go, buddy. I'll see you guys next week for